Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. My name is Corbin, and this is my co-host Tate. And today we have some very, very important people on today from the Junkies project. We have Jake and Lawrence. Say hello, boys.
Hey, what's
What's
going
up?
on? Thanks for
I'm
having
Jake,
us.
We're happy to have
aka
you
Stay
guys.
Quest.
Yeah, super
Yeah,
happy to
super
have you guys
excited to
on.
be here.
Also, full disclosure before we begin, Jake, Tate and I have quite a bit into Junkies, and I'm actually a mod on their Discord. So
Yes.
full disclosure.
I believe I am
Yes.
top 15 on Rich List.
Are you really?
Yes.
Oh, awesome, sweet.
So, tell us a little bit about the purpose behind the project.
Yeah, Jake, you wanna take this one first?
Yeah, we're just a 10K collection of NFTs on the XRP blockchain, and we decided to kind of back our NFTs with utility in the form of a game. So it's been a long time coming. We kind of altered our visions for it. We started off as just this simple mobile app where you click around and feed your junkie food. That's where we started off, and we kind of expanded out into making this whole underground voxel-based world. That's a huge MMO with all these social aspects when it comes to, hanging out in a bar, drinking a beer with your friends, to uh, doing quests and shooting each other in PvP missions. So, we've
Amazing.
we've
Yeah.
we've come far, and we're extremely excited for the future.
That's
Love
awesome.
to hear that. Yeah, I love to hear that.
So, why did you guys choose the XRP ledger specifically to launch your project on?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. We have always talked about doing a different collection here or there. I actually worked on a project on Wax, their blockchain, if you're familiar, over the previous summer. And it was a good time, like the whole blockchain. That was where I really got like into it. I've always been into crypto, like since I was like, I was seventh grade. It was like the first time I started learning about Bitcoin. One of my buddies was mining Bitcoin, and so when I hung out with Jake this summer, we were with his dad and we were talking about XRP and how they're bringing NFTs and they're trying to make it like a reality on their chain. And I've known about XRP; it's been around for forever as well. And we heard about the creator fund as well, and that was also enticing because one, there's not as much saturation in the market. Two, the ledger's fast, it's cheap, it's efficient. Like it goes on and on with kind of how we can build from like the ground up, and I think that's really really cool.
Yeah, it
It's
was
amazing.
really enticing to be like pioneers of the space and to create new technologies that nobody has attempted yet.
Yeah.
So that was really cool for us.
So, you guys are a part of the Ripple Creator Fund, as you stated, right?
Yeah, we're in stage 3 of it right now, so it's like a little project evaluation phase. So they're kind of like looking over us and seeing where they can help and where we fit in their form. So
Could you guys actually like break down for us like what are the stages of like getting into the creator fund and what all goes on with that?
Yeah, so I mean, the first stage is just a generic application. Your dad could have filled it out. But they go and they sort through everything, and then it got broken down to a second stage where they asked more like in-depth questions, wanted to know what your purpose is, what we're trying to do, what we plan to do, what we have already, things like that. And there was a little back and forth, but we moved on to the next one, which is more of like an internal review. And we've talked to a few people there. We've sent over stuff.
yeah,
We're excited about the stuff we've shown them. And right now this stage is like more interview, and like Jake said, it's kind of seeing where we fit best and if we can make a deal happen with that.
Nice. Very, very cool.
So,
yeah,
tell
I
us a
got the
little.
opportunity. Oh, sorry.
No, you
No,
go
go
ahead.
for it. Go
By
for
all
it.
means.
All right. Yeah, I got the opportunity to speak with a lot of Ripplers over at South by Southwest and get to know more about the Creator Fund and what they're looking for. And I got to speak with a couple of really nice people, got to learn a whole bunch, and I think we're on a great track for it. And we're also taking a shot at the grants as well. So, we're developing some super sweet NFT technology that you haven't seen on any other chain,
Yeah.
and hopefully pretty soon we're going to release it out, and it's going to be open source, and it's cool. So
That's awesome. Yeah, maybe one day Ripple will give you guys a shout out since all they do is
yeah,
just
right.
shout out Xpunks. I'm like, come on,
Well,
guys, quit cucking us like this. This is horrible.
we actually we spoke with one of our connections, and they're going to be doing something they're interested in our project and kind of want to highlight it. So we kind of just sent over some more information, and hopefully that goes to fruition, and we could kind of get a little shout out.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That would be nice.
And it would be.
So tell us a little about the game.
You want to go take this one, Dottie?
Yeah. So I mean, kind of like Jake said, it's come a long way in terms of our vision and what we've built and what we're planning to build. But at the end of the day, we kind of want to build it all around like, the social hub, like Rusty's Bar, if you will, is going to be like our main focal point. And on top of that, we have the missions and quests. So it has the MMO style while also being like completely different from an MMO. We really want to like, Rusty's Bar. We want players to go out and fight mutants and take back the Undercity, and then come back at the end of the day and have a drink, like Jake said, with in Rusty's Bar. Sing karaoke, play poker. There's so many different things where we want to build off of that, and I think that's one thing we're doing really well is building like a very solid base where we can take things in any kind of direction that like we feel is necessary or the community wants, and that's something we think is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, because I've never seen any sort of. I mean, I've done a lot of deep diving with other NFT projects on the XRPL, but I've never seen anything like what you guys are trying to accomplish. And it's great to see something like this because it opens up a lot more to this space.
And I was gonna add on that too, and just for any of the viewers too, is so it's a voxel game, which is it's gonna be like 3D. And originally we wanted to do like a 2D like top-down viewing thing, but it's really not as immersive. And we've thought about plans for integrating like a VR application within when you're in Rusty's Bar, so then you're fully immersed in there, and you can't do that in 2D, or at least it doesn't have the same like correlation.
True. Yeah, because then there's no depth or anything if it's all in 2D.
Yeah.
Kinda
Also,
ruins it.
probably should highlight a little bit over about outside project integration. So that's a really big thing for us. You can't have a metaverse or an XRP verse without having other projects being incorporated. So
True.
we have big plans for doing that and connecting our game to their platforms as well, or just shouting them out in our game with like a small Critters and Crawlers collection or a little mini game. So
Yeah, it's a good idea.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how's development actually going? Like how far along is this thing?
Yeah, so development has been actually quicker than we kind of anticipated.
Oh, way quicker. Yeah.
Like when we first kind of started, it was like, oh yeah, we can get this because the timelines we were hearing and people were throwing around was like 3 months, before the end of 2021, and so we planned for it to be like that, and obviously that hasn't happened, which has given us more time. But I mean, we've built out a large portion of the map. We have a lot of stuff that we haven't like shown out there yet. Our two artists, like shout out to them, Franco and Max, they're wizards. It's like crazy. Like we worked with a bunch of artists. We interviewed like 30 or 40 artists, and like these guys just came out on top, and they're really something special. So like we have a lot of the map done. A lot of the gameplay mechanics, are still in progress because those things where you find bugs, you have to keep altering those things. And in terms of the actual blockchain stuff, our dev Michael is also another genius. I think we just got lucky with a lot of the guys we're working with.
Yeah.
But no, he's cooking up a lot of that stuff. We have our minting DApp like ready to go. We can mint if XLS20 came out today. And like Jake said, we're working on a lot of other like play to earn features and stuff, which as of about 2 weeks ago, we're really able to really test because they upgraded the dev net, and there's a lot more we have to come.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
So we've heard throughout the server and stuff that you guys are going to be sneak peeking the Horde mode.
Yeah. It's coming soon. We still got a little bit of tweaking to do to it before it looks 100%. There's a little bit of parts of the map that we kind of want to finish up a little bit before we have anything functional.
Sure.
We want it to be extremely gorgeous as you're playing this game. You look at any other blockchains, you don't see a game like this pretty. I swear, you don't. And yeah,
especially not this early either.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And you don't want to cyberpunk it either.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna start off small. We're gonna start off small. This little horde mode is just going to be a small little mini game. You're not going to be able to do an extreme amount of things in the game, but um, we just want to give somebody or the people a little platform to kind of dictate whether they like our project or not, and I think they will,
Yeah.
100% playing this.
Yeah.
And we're planning on kind of turning into it's gonna be kind of like a single player mode at first, so
Hmm.
just like Jake said, so you can test around and mess with it. But we're also going to link it up to kind of like a leaderboard system to make it like, a little bit more interactive. We can hold contests based on how well you do in the horde modes and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
it
it's
won't
gonna be ran
just
through
be
Discord. Yeah.
yeah. So it'll be like a task and a competition. So
Nice.
cool. Yeah.
What are some of your favorite in-game features so far that you've developed, or is it sneak peeks?
What do you like? What do you like in Jake? What do you what
Dude,
what can we
being
say?
able to log in with my junkie and just walking around, honestly,
Yeah.
uh, that's a huge step when it comes to blockchain gaming, and we succeeded. And maybe the gun mechanics I really enjoy. The melee mechanics kind of remind me of like a Dark Souls y Elden Ring kind of thing.
Okay.
You have that tab target lock, and you have
Mhm.
the rolls and dodge, and the enemies are somewhat
Nice.
slow, especially just the melee ones. But um, yeah, dude, there's so many features. I don't know, just like drinking a beer inside Rusty's and like having a little bit of a hallucinogenic effect, walking around.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a
I'd
great.
say
Yeah.
we're still early with like some of the poker stuff. But I like that stuff. I'm a
Mhm.
poker fan, and then it's
That's what
like
I'm excited
being
for.
able to
Some
play
blackjack.
in something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
terrible. Each
But
each poker thing that we've hosted, I've lost like the first 3 hands. So
Oh, Jake.
Every time I've tried to
yeah,
join, I've been at work, and so it's just
Yeah.
like, damn, I can't get around to it.
Me too. Me too.
yeah, we're hoping to make that like a weekly, bi-weekly thing. So that'll be
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's
That'd
fun
be
to do.
dope.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, how does the payment system work in game for JSC? So, like, will it like somehow connect to your wallet via Zum, or obviously everything's still like super early, so all of this
Yeah.
can change. But just like some ideas that you have thrown around for if maybe you wanted to bet on something and it would deduct a certain amount of JSC.
Yeah, so like you said, it is early, and kind of going back to what I said, is like 2 weeks ago is like the first we could really track transactions for more than 20 minutes
Sure.
and actually see that kind of stuff happening live. But our idea is, in terms of like PvE aspects and those missions, um, we're trying to work on something to where we can make it like secure as well as functional,
Mm-hmm.
because when you start messing around with non-blockchain things that equal blockchain things, it gets kind of messy, because then people could find duplication bugs and just go
Like
print
yeah,
out
just
a bunch of money.
yeah.
But like when it comes to, like you said, like betting on something, like the Fight Club we talked about, like if you're gonna bet on one of the fighters, um, you do that and it's gonna be a transaction that gets put into like an escrow, and it's just like then it'll be paid out based on who bet on what and what the outcome was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really just it's a reward token at the end of the day, and we hope to use it for other things as well. Um, but yeah, Jake has a few more ideas with
Yeah,
plans for
JSC
JSC
use
itself.
cases for JSC.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you said, it's a payment token within the game, but it's going to be used for so many aspects of the game: buying land, buying NFT cosmetics, betting on certain things like poker, fight night, or whatever you want to do. You can transfer it to other people. You can pay people with JSC. JSC is used in our DAO. Let's say you want to buy the new Critters and Crawlers collection. Well, that's going to be JSC exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be tons of uses for JSC. And right now it's a little slow. There's not much you can do with it except with our DAO. But in the future, we have big plans for it.
Nice.
So you'll be able to buy land on the game.
Yes. Yes.
Is this land as in like for houses or?
Yeah.
A little bit of both. We have like the two main uses for it is, one, yeah, we do some kind of housing or actual land plots that you can customize and do stuff on, and there's a bunch of other like gamey things that like they're going to be used for that we don't really want to talk about right now.
Of course.
Fair.
And then on the other note is like advertising. Like if another project wanted to come in and buy a specific like little building window or something, they could buy and we'll set it up however they want, and it can literally turn into like a shop for their NFT collections or stuff like that, or like a banner or something like that. So
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we'll be able. So once the game's fully developed and stuff, we'll be able to. So say if you own like 30 junks, you'll be able to rent some of your junks out to the other people who are wanting to play the game. Correct?
Yeah,
that is the plan.
And then there will be some sort of like way to generate like passive income off of that through the renting process. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's two different ways that we plan to do this. Is one, the renting one we thought was really a cool idea, and that's still a long ways away, just because it's complicated.
Of course.
To
yes.
give it out to someone and give them access. We're working on a little pretty unique way to get that done. On the other note, there's also staking, so you'll be able to lock them up and receive like JSC as like a passive reward, things like that.
Amazing.
Okay. Yeah. Are there going to be more opportunities to acquire JSC? I know you guys mentioned in the server a little while back, since you're not doing the reward snapshots anymore, if there was going to be other, like, obviously poker nights, but anything outside of that?
As of now, we have some ideas brewing, nothing in stone. I know we're still gonna have the minting. So if anyone you mint out, you get 1,000 each when you mint, and then we're also that final snapshot comes out right after the mint as well. So it's like gonna kind of double up. So that's the biggest one. That's 42% of like that initial allocation we have for it. Not of the whole thing, but of like the 8%. So
mint will happen once the game's fully developed.
So the plan is we're probably gonna mint pretty soon once XLS 20's out.
Perfect.
Yeah.
At that point we don't know exactly when it's gonna be. It could be, we're hoping end of Q1, but it's probably gonna be more like in Q2. So once that happens, we'll mint out the junkies and let the market go where it was. But we're hoping to have something viable to give the community in terms of playing. But it won't be like the full-fledged game at that point.
Yeah, the game's never going to be finished. It's going to be something
That's beautiful. That's
we're
we'd love
going to
hear
build
that.
it forever.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be huge, and we have big dreams for it. So
Always growing, never
Always
stopping.
growing.
always growing. Yep.
Yeah. So, do you guys have any insight on XLS 20D? You said you were thinking it was going to be done Q1, but now you're thinking like Q2.
Yeah,
Mid Q2.
That's the hope. We don't have like direct insight. Everything's like hearsay.
Sure.
And the way things have kind of rolled out, we initially thought the DevNet was going to be out in November, from what we had heard. But then it didn't end up coming out until end of January. And then only 2 weeks ago that it's more of a permanent. They have a full history node dedicated towards it. And so like things are going somewhat slow, but I think now that they've allocated a lot more money towards grants specifically, that's going to bring in a lot more.
1 billion XRP.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Absolutely.
So I think things are going to start ramping up, in these coming 2 to 3 months, like pretty heavily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll also say there's been a lot of like projects in the background that really no one knew about until that last grant came out. Their partners and other people they're working with. So like they may be further ahead than we even know as like a community.
For sure. Yeah. They could be hiding a lot.
Who is the group Fueled on Bacon?
Yeah, so Fueled on Bacon we're partnered with them. They're our developers, blockchain and game. And so we met them early on when we were kind of just like hunting for extra talent. And we got close with them. They're real great guys over there. They've always been good. Like, they have Michael, both of our Ryans, Kyle, Benji is like our business consulting kind of guy. And so yeah, at the end of the day, they're a what's the word, development like agency. But we're a little bit more than just like a client. We have a signed partnership with them, and one of the guys lives right down the street, so I hang out with him now. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, they're big into ETH projects as well. You know,
Gotcha.
they've done tons, and they've been working on them as they're working on ours as well. So, you know, they're multi-talented. They have a huge group of people that are dedicated to these projects. And I want to give a little shout out to Kyle, who's our main game developer. He's with Field on Bacon, and he's been doing an amazing job.
Nice.
Nice.
Dude's awesome.
So is this like the first XRPL project that they've worked on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that
Nice.
was a cool thing is like they liked it too because it was so new and like the position we're in, and that was where Michael comes in. He joined the team a little bit after. You know, we kind of partnered up with them, but he spent like I think like 2 months just learning and understanding everything that has to do with the ledger. And now it's like we ask him questions about it. He's like, oh yeah, this is how you do this. This is how you do that. So he's a smart dude. Picked it up like it was nothing.
That's great.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to have people like that that are kind of like quick on the draw with stuff. Makes things
Exactly,
a
yeah.
lot easier.
100%. Yeah. So has there been many obstacles that you've came across, or both of you guys came across as NFT developers?
Yeah, tons. You know, the space is so new, and you're developing all these different ideas and these technologies all from scratch.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
it's the first place where we've done any IOU tokens, and you know, thinking about all these different tokenomics and how you distribute them. You know, how airdrops work. You know, how to keep the community engaged for
Mhm.
for longevity. You know, it's a lot more than just like a regular NFT project. You know, you're building a community that's deeper than just a normal NFT community. You know, you're building a family,
Yes.
Yeah.
and you know, we think we've done a pretty good job at it so far, and you know, we're going to be hitting it hard with some marketing and you know, building up that community even bigger. Uh,
Mhm.
once
Yeah.
20D is closer, but
We're gonna.
And I'll stay on top of that if you don't mind me
Yeah, go for it.
interjecting me there. Yeah, I mean, like I guess like specifically, something I wanted to touch on was like we launched like our token. I mean, like obviously there was when if you're really early on, like there was some projects who, you know, rug pulled and scammed, and like it was before anyone like doxed themselves or you know put their name on paper. But I think we were 2 days after Xpunks had first listed their token,
Mhm.
and you know we definitely took some inspiration from their tokenomics and what they did. You know, granted, it may not have been the best way to do it with the amount of airdrops and stuff. Like, but at the time, like airdrops and the airdrop farmers were like what blew up the project.
Mhm.
And you know, there's definitely different opinions of them now, because people are getting saturated a little bit
Yeah.
with all the airdrops. But you know, that was a big obstacle because then it was like we had planned to you know airdrop 4 times on 4 different dates a week apart, and you know then we realized it was like okay, well, you know our price was going up. We have people buying in up here. You know, is it fair to be airdropping 1,000 tokens on one day? So then we switched over to the more a passive thing. We were doing like 100 a day, and half the people wouldn't even realize. Then no one ever sold it like the same time. So
Mhm.
that was the first real obstacle. Was definitely with the
there's a lot.
airdrops.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, the airdrop tools were kind of finicky. They didn't work well, so we're signing you know thousands of manual transactions over and over and over again, and it was
Wow.
brutal. It was
Yeah.
brutal, but you know, we overcame it.
Yeah. It's
Mhm.
done now.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's done now.
Yeah, that's great. Also, another thing too is we noticed that there's some not necessarily outdated things in the white paper, but like white paper's getting a little, you know,
A
older.
little rough.
Oh yeah, oh
Smidge,
yeah.
just a smidge. You guys have any idea on when that might get updated?
Yeah, I mean, we already started moving stuff over because we want to put it on Gitbook. If you're familiar, it's just like in the browser, it's much more accessible.
Sure.
Sure.
You know, we've definitely like we have you know a draft with I want to say like 65% everything in there.
Mhm.
But I would say like what's today's the 24th. I could say by like within the next 3 weeks, call it. I don't want to be too early. Within 3 weeks, I think we're gonna have a new revamped thing kind of posted and updated on there for
Awesome.
sure.
Love to
Yeah,
hear
you know,
that.
it's gonna be huge, and especially as the game grows, the white paper's gonna grow as well. You know, there's
Yes.
a lot of aspects where we have to leave out. We have to put like placeholders in, but it's
Yep.
going to be it's gonna be way too big in order to like do it in under a couple days.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, 'cause you have to make it look nice too.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Very
You
presentable
need,
and stuff. Yeah.
cool screenshots, some sneak peeks that are only accessible in the white paper, like we did with the JSC trust line. We only
Yeah.
put the trust line hidden in that little white paper section, so the OGs will be able to read it and find it. So
Smart idea.
Very smart.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps the community engaged.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
also keeps the airdrop farmers from
Yeah.
submitting tickets about where's my GSC. Oh my gosh, bro, the amount of tickets that we had gotten
Oh my.
when they were still airdropping, bro. I'm like,
Yep.
where's my junk? I set the trust line. Brr, 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 brr. It's
Yeah,
like, dude,
I'm
this is
so
the
happy
third
you're
time
there
you
to
sent
see it.
one.
Oh my.
Oh,
And it
honestly,
was-
and I had to turn on. I opened my DMs because I wanted to handle some of the extra stuff too. And
Oh no.
Jake had his off, so he didn't understand this as much. But it was like I'd log on in the morning. It would just be you couldn't even see your first server. So many messages
Wow.
just from people.
Damn.
Yeah.
And they just kept sending their address. If I didn't respond in 5 minutes, kept sending their addresses. Like,
And like we had
I'm
some
getting
people
you.
that
There's a
were
lot of people.
some people were saying like, "Hey, I received junk on my first trust line, but my third and fourth trust line didn't receive any." And we're like, well, I'm glad that you didn't receive, multiple pieces of junk, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that back
It
to
was
the
fun.
obstacle
Good
question, that
times.
was definitely one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad there's a better ticketing system, so that way, everybody's
Yeah.
not like all the messages.
100%. Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Customer support's probably one of the hardest things to go about whenever dealing with people.
Yeah, and
Oh
also,
yeah.
and to figure out if people are bluffing or not.
Oh yeah. That's
Like, dude, this is the 8th time you've sent me your address. Like, we already fixed it for you, bro. Chill.
Oh, I know. It was funny. There was one time, like I've gotten it multiple times actually. It's like people will send like, "Oh, I didn't receive my JSC, didn't receive my junk," and like I'll go in and I'll look at their wallet because you give everyone the time of day.
Yeah,
Sure.
It's just what you have to do, and so I'll look and I'll look and it's right there. You got it on the date you're supposed to, and she's like, "I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it," and I'm like, I have to send a screenshot. So it's just like those are things that can like slow you down sometimes too. It's like.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ignore them and be like, okay, like that sucks. It's more of like figure it out, I'll tell you why, and then they deserve that at least.
Yeah. People are trying to steal some of your JSC from you just by saying they didn't get it.
Exactly.
So what are so this lawsuit obviously with XRP and Ripple has been going on for over a year and a half now. What are you guys' thoughts on it?
My dad is huge into it, and he keeps on telling me it's going to end every single day. I hear it. He's the person who got me into XRP. I knew nothing about it actually before I did. But yeah, I mean, he says April. Oh.
April's a month.
Probably April 1st.
Yeah, April
Yeah,
1st.
April 1st, apparently, XRP is going to hit 589.
That's
Yes.
the goal. That is the goal.
That's when David flips the switch.
Yeah, exactly. But we're all rooting for it. We all know what XRP can do, and the purpose it has,
Yes.
and replacing Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
and even like besides that, I think there's a bigger players involved with this because if it's XRP or ETH, governments would choose XRP.
Yeah.
At least in terms of like the way they went about selling their their IDOs and ICOs and all that stuff. It's like there's something missing, but who knows what's really going on.
Yeah.
Nobody will know until it's over.
Yeah. I feel there's so much going behind the scenes
Yeah.
in this that because like a lot of people don't realize that Ripple and Brad and everybody like straight up worked with the SEC initially when they were first handling the buy and everything. Was like, is this legal? Is this legal? Is this legal? And they kind of like walked them through how to do it legally, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh,
Yeah, exactly.
nope, I don't think so.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, it's so true though, because there's so much fishy stuff going on just in this lawsuit alone,
Oh yeah.
and it's just going to open up basically every other cryptos. Every other crypto who goes through this this regulation.
Yep.
This regulatory these regulatory guidelines, every crypto that has to deal with these guidelines, that has to be the same. And while Ripple's having to deal with the hard stuff at first, everybody's going to have to go through it afterwards. And it's good that Ripple's getting it out of the way the first.
And there will be some precedent.
Yeah.
There'll be some like good hard precedent.
Yeah.
Because we all know the SEC is going to try to sue the daylights out of everything to try to make a quick buck.
Every single currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like another thing. It's good that XRP's first, like you said, is like they'll set that precedent, and two, it's like the amount of exposure that'll come into like for the whole chain itself is good.
Yeah, not to mention their team of lawyers, including former members of the SEC that I'm sure know all of their dirty laundry.
And the 43rd Treasurer of the United States.
Yeah,
Her
whose name's
name is on the money.
Literally.
It is.
Literally.
Her name is on the money.
And that blows my mind the most.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they're picking up partnerships like playing cards.
Yeah, like
members of the
Pokemon
board.
cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Pokemon
they
cards.
definitely know what they're doing, and like they got to know something to be putting $1 billion XRP into the grants fund as well.
Yeah.
There's something going on. There's something cooking that we don't know about, and we won't know about it. So.
At least we're early.
Yeah, at least we're early.
Hell
We're earlier than early.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the beginning. It's the beginning, dude. It's like CryptoPunks and whenever they minted. It's like earlier than early. You don't know anything about NFTs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think crypto in general, it's like, I mean, money's been around. How long have bills been around? Quite a while.
Thousands of years.
Yeah, people are using them then, and they're like, it's the same thing with crypto. I think you'll see it in the history books one day, and it's like,
Ye olden David Shorts.
Yeah. News just came out actually that the governor of the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, he is now allowing Bitcoin to be used to pay for taxes.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
It's
wow.
super sick.
Yes.
He's.
Now wait until they find the actual efficient coins.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so here's my $1,000 in taxes and also my $3,000 in gas fees.
Terrible.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't even want to imagine.
Yeah, or gas fees a loss. Can you count that as a loss?
No, they won't. They'll just say it's your own out of pocket money.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Like I already paid my gas tax.
Terrible. Terrible.
When can I buy some merch? That's what I'm waiting
Oh
on.
yeah. Soon. We got a little update on that. We had to migrate sites because of some hosting issues. But I mean, it's being set up now. We have all the designs done. The plans for that is kind of just as we set up this store and then kind of purpose, the stuff on the old one, bring it over soon.
Yeah. Also in the
Yeah.
future, JSE can be used to buy some merch.
Wow.
Nice. That's a great
Yeah.
idea.
Yes. Yeah, that's a really
Giving
good
it some
idea.
real world properties as well.
There you go.
Maybe someday we'll be able to buy real land with JSC.
Right?
Well, hey, you can enter in to win a Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
That's
That's still ongoing all the way until mint.
awesome.
That's amazing. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we're working on a little re-promo for that. That'll be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
We're actually going to put a Tesla in the game, like an actual drivable Tesla, and you're going to see some dude. Like,
Can you launch it into space?
why not?
Maybe that's what we'll
No.
have to do.
Let's try it out.
That'll be a future update.
Yeah.
By then the white paper is going to be like this thick. It's going to be
Oh,
like an
yeah.
encyclopedia.
Oh yeah.
And then the worst part about it, it's me and Lawrence writing it, and we're terrible with grammar and terrible with spelling correctly. So, we're sitting there typing and we're making sure we have Grammarly that's working, and we have all these misspelled words and improper sentences, and
You can have
Yeah,
your
you know-
desk
you
job
know-
for it, Jake.
yeah, right.
You
But,
know when you read a sentence and your brain just autocorrects it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's happened multiple times. We both read through it, and then someone in Discord's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is misspelled in the white paper." And I was like,
Especially when it's
"God."
5 a.m. and you've been writing this white paper since 3 p.m. You're just like going out and you're analyzing it over and over and over again. Yeah.
Blends together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, with that being said, we appreciate you guys coming on, and if there's anything else you guys would like to add to this, by all means.
I mean, yeah. First of all, thanks for having us. It's exciting, like going on
Yeah.
podcasts and
Yeah.
talking about what we love doing. So, thank you.
Let's
Cool.
do another one after Horde mode's released.
We'd love to.
Yeah,
Get
most
that going.
definitely.
We can
Yeah.
highlight some stuff on it.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna be trying to do a big giveaway for that. So, stay
Sweet.
tuned for the Horde mode thing. It's gonna be super exciting.
I'm gonna play the crap out of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need to. You're gonna need to get number 1 on the leaderboard.
Hoping
You
I
know?
can run it on my Mac.
You should-
Oh,
you
I
should
think so.
go with
Yeah,
it,
yeah. You'll be good.
That's
The
good.
poor MacBook Air is gonna be on fire.
Fans,
gonna-
fans on cloud 9.
It's gonna
Oh,
start
yeah.
levitating like a PS4 trying to play GTA 5.
Thankfully, they're voxels, so it's not super hard to
That's good.
run.
Mhm.
So,
That's
Yeah,
definitely
in
good.
the little demo we had, I was getting like, I mean, I have a desktop, but I was getting like 600 frames. So you'll get at least 30 on the Mac.
When ray tracing support,
Yeah.
oh, right.
that'd be dope.
That would be
Yeah.
little bit of ways away, but
Yeah, I think
get
your
there.
MacBook would get like negative FPS.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even want to imagine.
It'd be measured in frames per minute.
yeah, it'll change itself to a Windows.
Definitely.
Yeah. Cool, guys.
Well, thank you guys once again for coming on.
Yep, we appreciate you.
And
very,
we look
very
forward.
much.
We look forward to everything that's going to be developed with this game.
Yeah.
'Cause this is honestly the only project I invest into on the XRPL, and
Oh,
the only
thanks, man.
NFT
Oh, yeah.
project that I actually put effort in to like continuing to follow up on and stuff. Because there's just so much out
Thanks.
there, and yeah, you guys just.
Yeah.
I truly believe in you guys. I'll put it at that.
Thanks,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
Yeah, we're
we
bunkered
appreciate
down right now, kind of, hitting it hard for the development. So we got some stuff to show pretty soon. It's gonna be
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, we
Love to
see
hear.
you guys in there every single
Yes.
day, sharing your screens. I'm like, do these guys take a day off? Like, do they
Oh,
sleep?
no days off.
But that's really
Or there's
reassuring, though. Whenever you're investing into a project, you want
Sure.
to be able to see the creators of it actually working on a nonstop basis. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, help me tell my girlfriend that one.
she'll thank you one day.
Yeah.
She's gonna be watching this, and now I'm in trouble. All right.
Cool.
Thank you
Sweet.
guys once again.
Yeah.
And
I
this
really
has been the
enjoyed
Alt Kings,
お前はもう死んでいる。何
and we will see you next episode.
Why can't we knock it
It's
over?
terrible.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Yeah,
Thanks,
that's a cool
We
outro.
appreciate you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, dude, this was awesome. I really enjoyed it.